How was the town and like the neighborhood you were surrounded by?
Petaluma was a town. It was all farming, mostly chicken farming. Probably never went there hardly, but maybe once a month to buy odd stuff. Because we had our own cows and our own meat and grew our own vegetables, but we didn't have to buy other stuff. The school I went to, even though it was Petaluma, wasn't in town. It was way outside of town. The closest neighbor up the hill was about a quarter of a mile, but he had to go. They had no kids. They didn't have any kids. The closest friend that I had, it was about a mile and a half away in the next hill over, and didn't have anybody really to play with besides brothers and sisters until I went to school. No TV. There was no TV. Telephone was party line, so only like didn't know what ring you were assigned to, and then.
Was the chicken farms for eggs or was it for meats?
No, it was for eggs. It was, and that was the cash product that we made was eggs. And to sell them, the guy would come out. Ted the Eggman would come out and would box the eggs, and then he would come and pick them up once a week. And the farm below us or next to us, it was a chicken farm also. The one above us was a dairy farm. At that time, the town of Petaluma was known as the chicken capital of the world. That's part of the buildings. There's 10 of them. And there's a part of the building, but each in the yards, that's where you put the garden. There is corn. I'm not sure what that is. It's smaller. It might be more corn. And it looks like it might be potato plants. But you grow just about everything you think you'd want to eat. You didn't buy any kind of vegetables. We had to clean the eggs and put them and box them. This was one of the houses. And then, because our property was slanted down hills, that's why you see it going down. That's Sylvia, that's Jackie, and that's me.
And that's you guys' dogs?
And that's our dogs. We had three. That's Major and Queenie, and I don't remember that one.
What is this?
It's the family bath. So that's Jackie. That's me there. I'm not sure if that's Sylvia. Then there's another one, Monica. This toy was one Jackie till this day is mad at me because I ruined it. My dad, if you want to see a gangster. My dad, and I couldn't tell you where he's at, but that's his Navy uniform.
Did you ever think about enlisting?
Well, at that time when I got out of high school, the draft was mandatory. Went in twice, and they rejected me both times, and I was really sad.
Oh. You went to? Was it like an elementary school?
Started off as first grade. I didn't go to kindergarten, and it went up to sixth. I lived in Petaluma up till I was about 11. Then we moved to Santa Rosa. In Santa Rosa, so the makeup of that town was a lot of everything, but mostly white. You had mainly white, and the only ethnic group, you had a few Mexicans that were there, and several Japanese that were, because that was after the war, so they came back and got their farms and ranches back.
What would you guys mostly do for fun?
We played war. Or we go climb a tree someplace. Did a lot of tree climbing because everybody had big trees, and we had a huge hedge. That was like 20 feet tall or something like that. And we all get on top of that and go across it. Now people would have a heart attack to see a kid up there by the creek and try to catch crawdads just to catch them, release them. We didn't do anything with them. We just go down and play with those. And then.
Where did you go to high school?
Santa Rosa High School.
Were you involved in any sports or like clubs?
Yeah, and well, in junior high I played baseball, and in high school I played football for 1 year. And then after the junior year, but after that I started working, so I had to go to school and go to work right afterwards. In high school, well, at first when I was like 11 and 12, we used to work out in the field and different farms, when like picking prunes, plums, apples. Minimum wage back then was $1.25. That's what I get shaking the apple tree. I'd worked at 2 restaurants in high school. I don't remember what they were called. I don't think any of them are around. After school, I'd go there right away, start making all the salads and stuff so they could open up. Then out of high school, moved down to Bay Area, Fremont actually, and started working at Peterbilt. I got a job working for a truck manufacturing plant for about 3 years, and then started working at a bakery 33 years.
Oh man.
then REI for 11 years. So I started working at the bakery, which was like $2.90. When I left it 33 years later, it was like $24 an hour I was making. And then it made less at REI, but then I got to play with a lot of toys.
Favorite things, like things you did for fun when you were younger?
Go to drive-in movies.
Oh,
It was a big thing on Friday nights. I had a car, so I was a big hit on a lot of the guys. Or Art's got a car.
What was your car?
That was a '55 Ford.
Do you remember when you started driving?
Legally or?
Both.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was about 8 or 9, 10, something like that. I'd sit on Dad's lap and steer. 10, 11, I'd be driving by myself. 16 when I got my license.
So was there any type of trouble you got into? No.
No, that's never ever got caught for doing. But yeah, we put a box of Tide in a fountain going through the city. That'd be nice big water fountains. You put the box of Tide and it'd be just
Bubble?
After about a half hour, all you saw was suds and foams.
How did you meet Grandma?
Well, the story is meeting Grandma was at that time I was working for the truck company, Peterbilt, and a friend of mine had a car. It was going to have some work done. He had a nice GTO with nice rims and stuff on it. Mm-hmm. So he had to put his car in and have it worked on, but he didn't want to keep those rims on the car because he didn't trust the mechanics. So we switched the tires out, and I put the nice magnet stuff on my car, which was an older Chevrolet, but it fit. And he wanted to go out on a date with this one girl, and I didn't let him drive my car, and he wanted to go. I said, okay, find a date for me, and we'll go out as a double date. And so the girl's neighbor, which happened to be Mom. So that's how we met. He broke up a week later, and we're still married. Kind of young when he got married, and kid come along. We still lived about the same. It just cost a little extra to pay for it, but it wasn't like there was any hardships that came because of it. And the same with those twins. The hardship is just putting up with them.
Do you remember if there was like any major moments in political history that stuck out to you?
Kennedy, when he got assassinated, that kind of stuck out. When it happened, at that time everybody had TV. You're sitting and watching, it was like watching 9/11. He said, is that just a TV show? Mm-hmm. Is that just a production somebody put on? You know, that stuff doesn't happen in this country. Mm-hmm. You don't shoot presidents. And that one probably stuck out. And then the 9/11, kind of sick feeling like that's just, especially with the 9/11 one, where you know there was people in those the high-rise places. There was a noticeable change that some of the security stuff was different, like airports.
Besides like the times right now, large pandemics or diseases that you remember?
And the biggest one I can remember was polio. What we did back in the early 50s, everybody got polio vaccine in the sugar cube. And everybody went to the schools, lined up, went to the schools, and they give you a cube of sugar with the medicine in it. And it took in about 2 years, almost nobody was wiped out and nobody had polio. So that's probably the biggest vaccine that I could think of. It's been like 5 or 6, but it never caught on in this country that bad as this one that we have right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any advice for future humanity?
Sure, and it has to do with environment. Kids from your age and the ones graduating now, if they can pay attention to what's happening, that you can change the environment to the good if you wanted to. Mm-hmm. We screwed it up. Yeah. And the ones in power now are making it worse, purposely almost making it worse because they make money off it. Mm-hmm. But if somehow you guys can change it to make the environment, at least the air and the water, and people kind of need that. Even the rich people who say that it's not bothering them, it does, and it will.
Yeah.
Climate change. I would like to see that change.